else drunk here? Drunk? Anyone? No? Just a few?
Just us.
Just me?
That sounds good,
I feel so privileged. Well, this is our drunk, happy song. So, for all you drunk people out there, this is for you.
This goes out to Grandma. You ready?
$4. Don't mention it. I will though.
Yikes.
5, 6, 7, 8. I want them to be sitting around.
me and Kate like have like, you know, side projects, and we just basically got them together for this show, and some of them are old core. It's pretty packed in here, huh? Hello? Hello? Sorry if I'm terribly out of tune,
Meaghan's not in the mood to return it, so...
Well, I have 11 strings, and that takes a lot of time and effort, so...
She has 11 strings, she's already drank 10 beers, so give her one more than Chris, that's your job. No, just kidding.
I think I found the bad string.
So anyway.
This song is called
What else did I say?
thanks for sticking around, you know. Cheers to everyone. Did I say that already?
I'll drink to that. it's that $2 cord you have. I'm sorry. Alright, it's a little better. Shit.
This is our last song. Thanks for like chilling and hanging out and having fun. We only have one more song. It's a pretty relaxed atmosphere here. I like like
Alright,
it.
so anyway, one more.
Chillin'. Did I say that already?
Thanks to Core, aren't they hot? I just want to thank everybody for coming. Obviously this event does not happen unless you're here, and I really, really appreciate people coming out tonight. I really appreciate the world for not snowing tonight. And I want to introduce one more person and let you know about one more really cool event that's coming up, something to mark your calendar for. That's Amatul Hanan, and she's doing an event, I believe, here at Ryles. Please come on up, Amatul, and let us know what it's about.
Thanks, Hannah. I'll just make it brief. It's going to be on January 19th, which is a Sunday, and it's the Martin Luther King long weekend. The show is called Sister, My Sister, a multimedia celebration of sisterhood. And it's featuring really fabulous women from all over the Boston area, and it's about coming together over the barriers of race, age, and class within the lesbian and bisexual women's community. So I hope you'll join us. There are going to be films, videos, poetry, performance art, and discussion and discourse about those issues. Thank you very much. It's the 19th. It's running from 6 until 9 p.m.
On behalf of Hannah and Tina, I want to say thank you to Liz for coming up from New York. And to Core for playing a very rare show tonight for this special audience. We automobile and buy the book. It's a wonderful read. Thanks for coming out.